here then, right?
That's right.
Another week, another episode. We got a special guest here, Jan Couch, and her lovely husband, Cliff. Everybody loves Cliff and Jan, for sure.
What about Jan?
Well, it's the big lead-in, Jeff. Yeah. So, but we are here across from Kloss Furniture. We're with Jan Couch. She's very excited about the new business that's getting ready to open up. The town is as well. We'll let her introduce herself a little bit. Before we do, Jeff, let's remind everybody to follow subscribe. And next week we're going to have the Holly's House of Hope on. So that's going to be exciting.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be good. And before we get going, Joe, what's our wealth tip of the day?
Wealth tip of the day.
Or week, whatever.
Oh, wealth tip of the week.
Stock tip.
Stock tip. Okay. Do not day trade. Go long term. Stay with the plan. This is going to be a quick one this week. Just stay with your plan. Don't be day trading. Put stuff into historically good performing investments, and the process works. So stick to the plan. Do not get nervous. Everything works out. That's my short tip this week.
All right. Health tip is we're rapidly approaching January 1st. People are always talking about setting new goals. And I'm all for setting new goals. I've heard people say they're since I never follow through, I'm not even going to do them anymore. That's the last thing that you want to do. That's totally giving up on becoming a new person or setting new goals. But I want you to think of it differently. And instead of just writing your goals out, write one paragraph about who you want to be. And describe the person that you want to be in 2025 or beyond. So that's my, try to get a true vision of who you want to be versus just these arbitrary goals that people set that don't have a vision to them. Because without a vision, it's really hard to stay focused.
Yeah, and there's something about writing things down that sticks.
For sure. Like I said, complete sentences, 1 to 2 paragraphs. Who do you want to be?
Yep. Hey, and just right back to, I said don't day trade. Just don't day trade in your retirement account. You can day trade. So. All right. Well, let's get to Jan here.
Jan, where are we?
We are 1101 Broadway in Highland. We
closer.
bought the building in April of 22.
What building are we in? Tell us a little bit about the outside so people know exactly.
The outside, people refer to it as the Castle Building.
Yeah.
And we bought it actually on the courthouse steps. Check that off my bucket list, something I've always wanted to do. Never really knew much about doing it. It was very easy. We got a really, really good deal on the building. We started the auction there, and believe it or not, I was a little surprised at the price that we were able to buy it at, which was beneficial for us. That way we could do all the things that we wanted to do to the building. We probably have a little more money in it than we anticipated originally, but we're doing well, and we have had amazing response from people in the community that we saved the building. We've heard a lot of stories on the street about where the building was going to go, talks of it being torn down and other people trying to buy it. But when we bought it, it was just a mess. The front of the building had trees overgrown and roots and rusted concrete, and so we decided that we wanted to buy the building, and we started. Initially, we always wanted to do our own business. And so this sort of came to us in a peculiar way. I had a bridal show at Windows on Broadway, and one of the gals in there, excuse me, had a charcuterie business, and she had little kids, and she's like, I just can't do this anymore. So I'm like, would you mind if I stepped in? And she said, no, in fact, you can have all of the, any of the equipment or stuff that I have. You're more than welcome to it. So long story short, we bought the building with that intention, and we couldn't be happier with where we are with the construction. Took a little longer than we anticipated, but most of that was due to contractors being backed up on their current jobs and a lack of staff in their own businesses. So I always say that if we could lay brick, we'd have had it done. If we could have poured concrete, we'd have had it done. But the good thing is that people were busy. Contractors were very, very busy. So it's a good thing that people had full books of business before we could get this one complete. But we're almost there. We have a little bit left to do, but we're getting there.
Awesome. Well, where are we? I mean, what do you got left before you kick these doors open and let people come in?
So realistically, the one thing I have to take a test for the health department, which I'm hoping to get done in the next day or two.
I know a guy if you need.
Okay. And then hopefully I'll get certified, and then hopefully we'll be open on Tuesday after the health department comes in. It's
Tuesday. What's the date on Tuesday?
12/10/24.
Okay.
And that date's special to us. We got married on the 10th of August in 2012. So I'm kind of pushing that date off a little bit. But anyway, but very excited. We're right across the street from Joe's new building and business. There's a lot going on in town right now. So we feel like it's a really, really good time to open a business.
It's exciting to be a part of, like you're mentioning, all the different things in town. It's exciting to it's your turn.
Right.
To have that spotlight a little bit.
For sure. And it's nice to, there's so many people investing in the community, and it's taken a long time for that to happen, but it's nice. It's a perfect time for us, we feel like, to get started and to move in and get, right alongside some of the other people in town who are saving buildings and rehabbing buildings and doing new stuff. There's, with the candy shop, it's something that we do have a candy shop in Highland, but it's a little bit different. There's not a charcuterie business in Highland, although there's meat, plants here in Highland, but there's not one that specifically does charcuterie boards. So Onboard Charcuterie was sort of my brainchild, but without my husband's help, without Cliff's help, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Okay, well, I'm a man, and tell me what exactly this charcuterie board is. What's it look like?
So it's the grazing table is what I want to really I want to start with, is which right now my focus till I get my feet wet and figure out the person to food ratio. I've been in catering most of my adult life. I worked for Saigon Delaney Catering almost my entire adult life, and great leaders. I learned a lot from them, and so I feel like this is the next step for me and for us. But having said that, it's still very different, because this will be already processed food, so I won't do anything. I won't be serving anything hot or cooked. But grazing table consists of fruits, vegetables, crackers, cheeses, meat, sausage. We would like to. Phase 2 would be get a food truck or a travel truck that we can go, maybe take weekend trips to when we're not busy. Hopefully we'll be very busy, but we can take trips to, Wisconsin and pick up some, specialty cheeses.
Now you're talking, pack.
Right, there you go. And go to different places where we can find some specialty sausages too. I already have an event on the books for May. A gentleman that worked for Boeing and PCP is having a big house party and wants to take us to St. Louis with him in February to visit some specialty shops that we can get, some unique and fun products. So
when you say grazing table, can I walk over here and eat? Is that what? Yeah.
That is exactly what. So I actually had the pleasure. Jan did a little demo for us was it April or May? I think it was May. At the gym. And she set up, we had a little party, and she kind of demoed what the grazing table would look like. And honestly, I thought it was perfect for what we had for a party, for people that are just casually having some drinks and can walk over, and just tons of different options. And, there's the art form aspect of it too. I'm more concerned of the actual food, but Tina and the ladies enjoy the aesthetically pleasing look of it all, out on the table as well. It's not just like, oh, here's a bunch of food, but it's intentionally placed where it is to make it look really nice. And, there's a presentation aspect to it as well, not just the food aspect.
That's correct. There is an art form to it. And I've pulled in some family members, just to kind of, help me out on, this, that, or the other job that we picked up. But they're like, well, I don't really know how to, where to place this. And I'm like, you know what, if you put it will all start to come together. And Cliff's been a huge help for me, but the grazing table part of it is nice. When you put out, you have to ask the client what types of, what they want me to go heavy on. If they want more heavy fruit, veggies, sausage, cheese, crackers, dips, that kind of stuff. I hope to pull in jellies here in the not too distant future. Jellies seem to go really well on those tables as well, and it's a nice addition. But I'm playing with pepper jellies, so it seems to go very well with the tables.
This is a board?
So this is a board. There's a gentleman that we found out of Houston, a friend of a friend, who made several of these for us. And so we'll sell these in here. To use them on the tables, they're a little pricier than I would leave at a...
Do they get to keep these how does that work?
If they pay for them.
Okay.
So we can use these, if they pay for them, but, or they can come in and they'll be on display here. There's a gentleman, like I said, in Texas who wants to continue to build these for us. He will go to storms in Texas and pick up catawba wood from trees that have fallen. And so this is fresh catawba wood, but it's been treated, and he's got stands on the back of them. So they work really nice, but, a little pricier than...
Show my wife, she'll buy one.
I'm telling you, right?
Are they different sizes?
I hear her
too?
talk about these
Yes.
things already. So.
Yep.
Right. So I hope to have a display of these too, and then hopefully we can get another. I'd like to get different vendors that want to. A couple people have reached out to me about selling some boards, so hopefully we can get another avenue for somebody else to sell some of their product.
Cool.
So out of here, like you said, so phase one is going to be doing the grazing tables, right?
Correct.
And then at some point, then offering these where people can buy them for their house, or like will they be already decorated, or just buying the supplies to get the stuff?
If they want to buy the board and they want me to build it for them, I certainly can.
Okay.
If they just want to buy the board for their home, they can do that as well. These would be nice if you could, put a monogram or your initial or whatever.
Oh, good
Yeah.
idea.
Wedding presents.
Right, for sure.
Client gifts.
Yes.
Sure. For sure.
All right.
So, but yeah, if they want it decorated, then I would process all of the food to go prepared with it, but put it in a box so that they could assemble it at their house.
So we are in Christmas season. Tuesday, you're opening your doors. Can people get some of these for their Christmas parties coming up here?
Hopefully, I hope to get the Facebook up and ready, but I'll probably do a lot of it by word of mouth. Just so that I don't get inundated over Christmas with hundreds of boards that I have to do and then not be able to produce. So
Or
I'll
enjoy
probably
Christmas yourself.
Well, I'm less worried about that as I am the customer and the clients being happy and getting enough, product to them. So I'll probably just do some family and close friends and that kind of stuff for Christmas, and then see where that takes me. But hopefully, all of the major holidays. I'm really anxious about the square, the Thursday night.
The concert on
the square. I hope to have my doors open and people can pick up boxes and take them with them, because I know they're able to take, their beverages and stuff. And I know they go to Schlafly for beer and Tulligan's and stuff. So I'm hoping to have a little station set up in the front where they can pick up a box and take it with them.
Yes,
that'd be perfect.
I love it.
That's a great idea.
It is a great idea. And going back to what you said, Jan, about this town, I feel like everyone that comes on here has the same message about the community, the business owners in this town. We all support each other. We all want you to succeed. You want them to succeed. I just feel like you're a good testament even saying that. Here's this building that nobody ever, it's sat here and now you're beautifying it. And
for years.
Here we go.
Well, we had a visitor in here after church on Sunday. Luke Sober stopped in here and he's like, you know what? He said, I just can't even imagine where this building was and where you brought it. And he said, it's just amazing to me. People don't realize how special this town is. Those were his words. And he said, there's so much Highland has to offer, and it's safe, and people can walk, and people can visit from different buildings, different businesses. And he said, we have everything here. You don't have to go to the big city to get what you need. And he's accurate. Highland offers a lot of different things. So it's amazing. Highland is, I've lived here all my life, and Cliff came in from Edwardsville, but absolutely loves this community.
Yep. It's hard not to. You got to come in here and check out the exposed brick. I mean, what you've done.
This place is really cool.
It's neat.
When we walked in the door, we bought it in April on the courthouse steps. We couldn't get in here until June. We went back to the courthouse to sign papers. We got in here in June, and I can't even begin to tell you that every wall in this building had drywall, and it was one person's fix over another person's fix over another person's fix. So we just started tearing into the building, and I looked at Cliff and I said, I just want to find one brick wall. Well, we found plenty brick walls.
Exciting.
And the one thing I have to say real quick before we end, we didn't want to tear out the ceilings in here. We wanted to leave everything exposed after we tore out the ceilings, I should say. The detail on the woodwork above the ceilings was absolutely phenomenal. It's like woodwork I've never seen before in my life. We tore out the ceiling in the turret, in the castle piece in the front, and you couldn't see daylight. The woodwork was so structured tightly that it was just absolutely beautiful. And everybody that came in says, why do you have to cover it? I'm like, well, because I couldn't afford to heat it if I didn't. So we had to put in, Steve Kessman's my contractor, and he came in, and his one of his worker, Colin Sexton, came in, and how you get in an artist's head, it's kind of a scary place to be, but they both did it. And Steve and Colin helped me figure out the structure of the ceiling and the woodwork. And I couldn't have done this without them. Their help, if I'd say something, but they'd both look at me, or, if they had a different idea, then we'd kind of come together. And sometimes their idea seemed to make much more sense. So the back piece of the building, which is the north piece of the building, had a flat rubber roof on it. And we knew that we didn't want to keep it because we wanted to have some storage space upstairs. So we tore off that back roof and carried the ceiling from the middle piece to the back, so that we did add an upstairs, which is where the washer and dryer and some storage space will be.
Okay, very cool. I do have one last question. What was this building everyone's, even at my office, my office was an IGA. Which I don't think very many people know. What was this?
Originally, and we were able to deduct that after we got in here and saw the middle piece of the building. So the north piece of the building was added on. The first two pieces of the building, the castle, the turret, and the middle piece were the original piece of the building. The middle piece was, we assume, was a gas station or a filling station, because you can see, if you look from the outside, you can see where the woodwork and where the lintel was in the side. They could pull in. The floor we're standing on right now was tongue and groove wood floor, and we assume that's where the cars would pull in to get serviced. And then they added on the back for office and billing space.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think you need one of them little air hoses, like when people walk in, it goes ding ding,
right,
for the background there.
Yeah. Well, we were able to keep a couple of the pieces. There's a part of the original electrical box, and Steve's like, are you taking that down? I'm like, no, I want to keep that.
No, I did the same thing, and I'm like, we have similar structures, and those are the things people like.
Right. So the back windows, you can probably see the back windows from where we're standing, but when we came in, that was all covered with some kind of an FRP board, is what they called it. And I called Gary Werner, who is the contractor. Werner Construction did all of the windows and doors. And when he came in, he goes, Jan, I think I put this FRP on here like 20 years ago. And I'm like, and he goes, let's just tear this all out. So it was a wire structure, like a wrought iron structure window back there. So we knew that we wanted daylight, but with the pole building back there, Brian Raffini's S&M Price Plumbing, there's a pole building back there that he keeps all his plumbing stuff back there. So we didn't really want to see that. So we went with the glass block so that we could have daylight but not see the structure back there, which the glass block matches the glass block in the north part of the building.
It looks good. It looks good.
I would have just assumed that it came with the building.
Yep.
So, I really appreciate just seeing somebody take this project on and redo this building that's just been sitting here for so long with nothing in it. So super exciting to see actual business be ran out of here, and excited to see it finally get it opened up.
Together. Very excited. I couldn't do this without giving a shout out to the contractors. Of course, I said Steve Kessman Construction, and Lit John's Flooring did the floor. I got to tell you a little story. I went in there to pick out some wood flooring, and he looked at me and he goes, "You don't want that?" I go, "Okay, what do I want?" He goes, "Tile." And I go, "Okay, well." So then he showed me tile, and I said, "Oh, Randy," I said, that's going to take you forever. And he goes, "Jan, I don't do this for ease. I do this for quality." And he came in, and you can see by the herringbone floor, when you come in to see it, the flooring is absolutely beautiful. Tim Rakers concrete did the concrete work, and I feel like every contractor we use was absolutely top notch. Corman Brickwork did the brickwork. Jeremy Gebke did the tuck point work, and that man was here tirelessly.
Yes, he was.
And he did the tuck pointing job he did on this was absolutely stellar. The roof, Quitmeyer, watching those guys do this. I don't know if you were ever in your building, Joe, watching, but to watch those guys from the ceiling, they were all from the roof. They were all strapped on, because I was like, Kevin, and he's like, no, Jan. He goes, this is a top-notch outfit. They did. People would drive by and say it was amazing to watch them put the roof back on this building.
Yep,
I hope I didn't miss anybody.
No, that's the only reason. The reason I brought these boards out is exactly what you just said. Is that everybody has given 110% to help us out here, and we're just very, very thankful for all the help and the craftsmanship and the support. We just can't say enough. And a buddy of ours showed up, and he told his brother-in-law about these boards, and before you knew it, Tom's delivering 10 of these boards to the charcuterie business, and he said, my brother-in-law said, just do what you want to do with it to make that business work. So it's just...
Love it.
The boards are beautiful. I'd remiss if I didn't mention my son-in-law is doing the sign, and when it gets here, it is an eye stopper and a show stopper. It is absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait for it to be installed, and everybody, you'll see it.
That's when it happens. Is the sign goes up, the heads start turning. You got a great location. The community will get behind you. I personally wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Both of you guys.
Yeah, great.
Jeff and Joe,
best of luck to you guys. And one last question is, what are kind of the hours of operation to get a hold of you?
So I'll post that out on Facebook. Right now, I just want to get through Christmas and kind of see what the need and the demand will be, and then kind of go from there. But
so would you like your outreach to kind of be through Facebook?
Right now, yes. And then hopefully by February, then I'll have better hours and better idea of how to make that work. I certainly want to do all of the major holidays. So
did we ask what the actual name of your? It's Jan and Cliff. We love that. What's the name of the business?
Onboard Charcuterie.
I think this is a great ending here. Onboard Charcuterie.
Get on board.
Right off Broadway.